Welcome back to Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? This is episode number 11. This is reviewing the second episode of the third season of the series, which is also if I can find the thing here he goes, which is also the 27th episode of the series. It's called Monster. Yep. This one adapts more from chapter 9, chapter 9, book 9 of the series. Yep, book 9. I think it's one like last episode, which had like adapted 2 chapters. This one I think is just one. Just chapter. There's about a few different things. Mostly it's like the story goes like this. Now Winnie is in the whole episode. She's actually at the Hestia mansion for pretty much most of the episode until the very end. Belle, of course, needs to go investigate the area where he found Winnie. So basically, himself, Wolf, and Lily go to the dungeon. But first, they have to get some escorts first to the dungeon. Well, first, to get permission from the guild, which they give it no problem. So he goes to see Lily. He asks her for help, and of course, Asia basically, she's part of the Hermes Guild now. They go to ask her. She not a bit hesitant, but she initially goes because she says, "Oh yeah, I won't let you ruin his heart because he's already promised to somebody." Mainly put her best friend, and both these two women are in love with Belle. And this is something by sheer coincidence when it comes to the series. It seems as though like every single character who pops up in this series, I would say at least 2 goddesses, basically Hestia and Freya, have got a thing for Belle, along with 2 elves, a pack lad, let's see, this Amazon woman. Winnie is kind of hints that she's got a thing for Belle. Seems like almost everybody's got a thing for Belle. The one who's from the Thermoscat, the one from the guild, where it's basically who has the outfits from the Warring States period of Japan. She is probably the only woman who probably does not have a thing for Belle. Yeah, the only one I could think of who knows Belle, one of 2, who does not have a thing for Belle. So they both agree to be the escorts of this group, and they all go down to the dungeon. And they end up basically where they go to the 19th floor where Laird and Astia stays with Lily, basically just to distract her long enough for Wolf and Belle to go down the 19th floor. They manage to find the area where Belle found Winnie pretty quickly. They go back to it. They look around, and then of course they're let's just say they're confronted by some person under a cloak who mentions Fels. He's from the Lokia Guild. Yeah, he's from the Lokia Guild. And they show off the feather. Yeah, I found out who this character is. I'm not going to reveal who this character is because this character is probably going to show up probably in next week's episode. That's my personal guess. Either next week's episode or 2 episodes after that. So I'm not going to spoil who it is. So after they leave a dungeon, and of course the escorts basically go back to where they were. Also, Lily she asks her, tell Mamma Mia basically I'll be taking half a day off and I'll take the evening shift. It's like, okay. I think it's so hilarious. I think it's kind of interesting though that she basically got hints the fact that Sire's engaged to Belle even though she really isn't. I mean, yeah, Belle is attracted to like everybody. So it's not surprising she would say that because she basically is very protective of her best friend and her feelings toward Belle. Well, yeah, it's actually revealed. I should point out though, it's revealed that Laird has feelings for Belle, though it's not revealed until actually book 14 that she's got feelings for him. It's hinted at, but it's not supposed to reveal until book 14. I know this because I read the book. That's why. Though there's another book coming out next month, I'm looking forward to reading it. So we have it where then we have Belle basically walking back, and of course we have this minor thing where you have Iskar. He's one of the patron gods, and apparently he's patron for a group of guys who take monsters as slaves. At least it's not Ganesha. Yeah, Ganesha's got nothing to do with these people at all. Yeah, they just try to take monsters as slaves and they sell for a high profit. He says, "Oh yeah," and basically and for a god, he dresses like a guy from present day. He wears a freaking tracksuit of all things. Yeah, normally these gods wear whatever the heck they want. Apollo wore a freaking toga for crying out loud in this series. And yet, here's the thing. Hermes wears an outfit that's pretty much similar to what everyone else wears. But Ikotos? Oh no, he wears a freaking tracksuit. Because he can. So, he's basically comes across Bell, first him as a little rookie. That's actually his nickname at this point. He actually gets a change his nickname actually in book 11 to... I'm not going to reveal what it is. I'm sure they're probably going to adapt it for this season. Yeah, so I'll talk about it when they get to that to book 11. So he talks to him, he doesn't reveal anything, and all of a sudden, Hermes shows up. Yep, making his first appearance this season. And he's like, Hermes, well, basically in the dub, he would say, Lord Hermes. Just run along, Bill. I'll catch up with you later. Yeah, he has a good, at this point in the series, he has a good standing relationship with Hermes. He treats Hermes, despite the fact he's not his Patreon god, he treats him with a good amount of respect. Not just because he's a god, because he's a lot of respect for his leadership qualities, but there's one thing he doesn't like about the guy. He's a he's a peeping Tom. And the fact he tried to convince to peep on the woman he had a crush on. Ainz. This happened back in season 1. And the thing is, while all the rest of the girls have a problem with him peeping on them, Ainz is one of two who didn't have a really big problem with it. The other, of course, is Lyard. Yeah, she has no problem with Belle seeing her naked, though he didn't see the full goods. She's like, huh, it's you. It's fine. If it wasn't her guy, she might beat the crap out of him. Which I think is quite hilarious. Yep. Yeah, so... By the way, Ainz, in case you're curious though, does she appear in this arc? Yeah, she actually doesn't appear until the last book of this arc, which actually is book 11. She's not in book 9, or she's not in your book 9 or 10. She does show up book 11 though, but she's not in the book, basically this arc that this first episode adapts. So, Winnie basically overhears everybody basically talking kind of bad about her, thinks she's a bad influence on Belle, so she kind of runs away, but everybody regrets what they said, so they ever goes to Athens. Belle comes back, and here's the Winnie's gone missing, so he goes to help her, but Belle, she saves a little boy from being hurt, but the boy is scared of her because of her wings, so everybody starts with rocks there, but lucky enough, Belle tries to intervene, but he's stopped by Wolf, but lucky enough, Lily comes in, and she says, go to the secret cellar in the basement. And Belle is like, yeah, I know exactly where we're going. We're going to the original home. Yes, the abandoned church that Hestia Belle lived in during the first season of the show. That was destroyed partway into season 2 by Apollo's goons. All because they didn't accept the terms of an actual, stage combat, basically, he challenged her to. Because she declined first and then she later accepted. So it's great to see this. I'm sure people who just watch the anime who have never liked novels, it's great to see this thing again. And of course, Winnie, is sitting on the couch next to Belle. Though they have this where, when they first see Winnie, she actually is, playing hide and seek with Hysteria, which, of course, she actually finds her quickly because of her tail sticking out. Then, of course, she somehow goes back to Belle's room and sniffs his bed. Yep. So... he doesn't really say anything, is it bad to hang out with you? And she doesn't really say anything. And that's where the episode ends. It becomes a little more interesting next week's episode, where it's called Xenos, which is the name of the species that, Winnie's part of, because she's a monster with intelligence. I'm definitely looking forward to next week's episode, which, from what I can tell anyways, I would say probably by episode 4 is when they probably will wrap up this particular, adapting book 9. Yeah, probably take at least 4 episodes just to cover this one book. That's just my personal guess. And as far as I've heard, the season is set to have 12 episodes, so we're going to have just 3 books. And presumably we might have about at least 4 episodes covering each book. Yep. Though I think in the case of season season 4 because I'm sure it's Prestige series, but I guess season 4 because this season so far it's been really good so far. I'm looking forward to season 4 whenever I get a chance. Like so far, anyways. If season 4 is greenlit, I'd be happy for it because the thing is with that one, they probably will do have 3 books like this season again. Though I would suggest make it longer than 12 episodes because book 14 is freaking long. Yes, is really really long. But that would basically depend on the season. So currently there's about 10 episodes left to go for season 3 to air. So expect to see more views of that soon. So expect to see the season will end, well, with the episode number, at episode number, I think like, let's see, I'd say 21 at the latest. So yeah, that's it for single review. My next review will be a review for the newest episode, Case Closed. Yep. Produce the next video. Bye.